Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have the first impressions of the Too Faced White Chocolate Bar palette. Now I did purchase this with my own money. I did pick this up like a while ago at Sephora. I don't know, I think it was before Christmas I picked this up. I don't remember. Or like around that. No, it was definitely before Christmas. I did pick this up before Christmas. So I don't know if this is at Ulta or anywhere else that would just like sell Too Faced. I don't know where it would be there. But I do want to give my first impressions. Now I do plan on going to my grandma's house sometime if the weather works out and everything, where I will be testing out this palette and giving you my full in-depth review in a future video. That way you guys will know if purchasing the $49 palette with, depending on the state you're in, plus the tax. So here it was like $52 or something like that, right? It's about like $52. That's a lot of money if you don't have the money, you know. I was lucky enough to have a nice job to be able to save for it. So, you know, there's that idea. And well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, especially if you want to try out this palette. And subscribe to my channel so you can see the update video of this and other future update videos on my Project Pan and just other things like that. So let's jump right into this. So as you can see, that this palette comes in the standard uni carton. It has all the shade ranges on the back, and there's a little description. It says, indulge in the softer, sexy side of chocolate. Treat yourself to a confection of 16 cocoa powder infused matte and shimmer shades that include creamy nudes, powdered sugar pastels, and a pop of black sugar to give you a decadent experience like no other. That smells like a white chocolate dream. There goes my alarm. Yeah, that smells like a white chocolate dream. So I definitely can't wait to be trying this. Now, just reading the description, I literally want to go and buy some chocolate. I mean, maybe that's what they want. Oh gosh, got my nails. Okay, so coming out of the package, it does have their traditional, I think this may be metal or this may be plastic. I'm not sure. It feels like a hard plastic. It feels very sturdy, and it does have the traditional magnetic closure, and it does look like the normal Too Faced chocolate bar palettes, and it's very shiny and sleek, and it's about that, like, width-wise. So opening up the palette, you have their usual trademark of the mirror little decoration, and here is the color scheme. Now just open. Okay, this does actually, it doesn't make me think of white chocolate, it just makes me think of chocolate in general. Now, opening up this palette, my eyes were ultimately drawn. My eyes were just like, oh, color, or just sparkles. So my eyes were really drawn to these kinds of colors, like the taupey grays, like these really beautiful colors right here. The green, to be honest, if I could put a piece of tape over the green, I would, because I'm not into the whole green, but these are what the colors look like. And I'm not going to do swatches. I'm terrible at swatches. I don't have anywhere to really swatch because this, you know, whatever. But I'm just going to be hopping right into this and giving you guys a look. So I got you guys up close and personal. So I'm going to be hopping into, I think I want to start the look off with this really beautiful taupey color that was calling my name. It's called Guilt Free. And on a fluffy brush, these are the, box. Jeez, that sucks. I'm going to be hopping into the Luxie 227T brush, which is just really nice, you know, shedding a little bit, and there's some excess powder. I did go and conceal and, prime and set my eyes, so that's already done, and I won't have to worry about it later on. There's extra powder. This is just a really nice crease brush that is very, on my lap. That's just very tapered, not tapered, it just goes out in a V. And it's just, I like to use that in the crease. So I'm going to be, like I said, hopping into that really beautiful taupey, light taupe shade. Now immediately going into the palette, there's not much fallout, as you can see here. There's nothing. Oh, now there was some fallout, but that's okay. Now I don't have a mirror, so I'm just gonna be using this mirror right here, and I'm just gonna be going in and just putting that directly into my crease. Now immediately, my first thought right now is that this color really isn't too pigmented to where you can see everything. I definitely think that this would be a really nice transition shade just to set everything and give it a nice, be able to blend everything together, nice gradient to add, I think. Now this palette really called my attention because it looked very cool toned, and I've just been really into cool tones. Another thing I wanted to mention, except for a couple shades, like this peachy shade, wish I didn't throw that in. I'm not into the warm shades. I mean, I like them, but I don't know. It's a love-hate relationship. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. I'm just going back in again. And it's just doing the same thing to the other eye. And I'm just switching up my motions, windshield wiper, circular, and just going in again for more color payoff. And kind of taking it down a little bit into the lid. Now that I think I got everything just about even, well, I didn't have to use that shade. I could have went in with this one right there. That's called Cake Batter. This one right there. I could have gone in with that one, but I decided not to. It was a little too warm for my liking. So I'm also going to be going into Chocolate Syrup, which is really pretty purpley taupe color, like a nice grayish, in my opinion. So I'm just going to be taking that on the same brush. I'm just going to be dipping into that. There is kickback when you dip in. I don't know if, my goodness. There is going to be a little bit of kickback, but nothing too scary. And just tap off all the excess. Just going back into the crease. It's about damn time someone makes really beautiful grayish color. I love grayish. It's like stunningly pretty. Now, when I test out palettes, I like to do the same kind of look. And if I need to go and speed everything up, I'll just pause when I would do the other eye. That way it doesn't take too long. Now, I'm really liking how these are blending so far. I think they blend like a dream. You know, that's definitely something I never need to really worry about with Too Faced palettes. Now, granted, I only have about the Chocolate Bar and the Sweet Peach. Yeah. I mean, I have all the fakes too, but not all the fakes, but we got some upcoming videos when I do some videos on the fake. Now, I always have this problem with this one eye, like I always mention, that I do, for some reason, powder doesn't really want to sit on this eye, so I'm not blaming the powder, I'm blaming the eye. But I really do like how these shades really blend. I think it's very, very nice and very beautiful. I can't stop smelling this palette. Okay, so I think I want to go and take this little definer brush right here. It is the Luxie 207T, which is this really pretty, like, slanted blending brush. I'm just going to be popping into Smoked Sea Salt, which is this really pretty, like, purpley based gray right there. I'm just going to be putting that in my outer V, which is, there we go, there goes Chirp. Which is this really, it's just such a beautiful color. Now, I did hear a lot of controversy on this palette, and I will be going over that as soon as I'm done. Well, I wouldn't say controversy, just, I guess, ideas on the colors and everything. Now, this color might be a little bit patchy. A little bit, but that might be like technique, so that might be user fault. Whatever the right word is, but you know what I mean. It might be my fault. The reason why these shades are blending, this specific shade is blending weirdly. User discretion, I think it's called, actually. I'm just going to be going, so far I'm really liking the, it's very different, these color schemes, like these 3 colors I've been using. It's a very different kind of look. I don't see too many companies coming out with these kinds of colors. It's nice that they finally bring out some cool tones, actually. And I'm just doing the same thing in the eye, going in the outer corner, in a V motion, and just bring it up to the crease slightly. And just to speed everything up, I'm just going to go and do the other eye off of camera from now on. That way you guys go and get the full time maximum that I have on my phone. So I'm going to be going back into this really pretty lavender shade, and it's called Lavender Cake. I'm just going to be putting that also into the crease as well. Just tapping off the excess and just popping that in there. Now I'm just doing this for fun. You know, I don't even know if there's going to be any color payoff with this color, but I'm just throwing it in there, actually. Now, this shade doesn't have too much fallout when I just dip the brush in, but the color payoff is weird. There's not much. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to take my finger into Sugared Raisin, which is this really stunningly beautiful, cool-toned, shimmery, purpley grayish, I think is the best way to call it. And I'm just going to be taking my finger, and upon feeling it, it feels very chunky, which, as long as it performs, I don't mind the texture. But I'm just applying it with my finger and just pressing that into the inner half of my eye. Now you do get quite a bit of fallout with these, but I kind of expected at least something from the glitter. I'm just going to be going back and making everything even Steven. And there is a little bit of fallout underneath my eye. Not bad, you can just wipe it away and clean it up. So I think the next thing I want to do is I want to go and take black sugar underneath, like on my end portion of my eye, because it is a sparkly black. And I'm just taking a flat brush like this, and I'm putting it right on the outer portion of my lash line. So I'm just going to taking it and going like this, just to create some dimension and the appearance that I have a thicker lash line. So this is the end result of this look, and I'm just going to go and finish everything, mascara and lips off of camera, and I will get right back with my final thoughts. Okay, so I'm back with my final thoughts on the Too Faced White Chocolate Bar palette. I honestly enjoy this palette. My first impression is I do enjoy it. The only thing that I am very concerned about is just the color range. Like, that is my only, like, concern. I mean, yes, the color scheme works beautiful on my skin tone, but I am, like, the fairest of the fair. You know, not really, but you know what I mean. I am a very fair skin tone type of girl. So on me, yes, this looks absolutely stunning. But on someone who has a beautiful medium skin tone or like a beautiful tan, I feel like these colors would A, not show up, or B, it would just look very gray. Like it would, I mean, unless they like cool tone colors, I feel like that would be, you know, it would look great. But I feel like this wouldn't look as good on them. I don't know if the colors would show up. I don't, and if you have a beautiful deep skin tone, I don't know. I mean, I think you would just need to really set everything and maybe use like a white base to make everything pop if you have a deep skin tone. I think that would be the only thing that you may need to change. Now, so far I do think it's worth the price. I do find the color scheme a little bit weird in the sense of you have all these beautiful cool tones, you have this is a neutral, these are the cool tones, these over here are all cool tones, except this shade, and like the green. I don't know if that's really cool toned or not. I might consider that. But you have this one random ass peach color. I mean, it just doesn't, I mean, I see what they're doing, but I don't know. I don't think, when I think of white chocolate, I don't think of warm tones. I think of icy, cool tones, you know, like pastels. I don't think of a random peach. I'm sorry, but I don't think of a random peach. I just, even a green, like all right, the pop of color effect, like you just want it. You want to use the green. I get it. It's a marketing skill, but I don't think if I could tape over it and put something else in it, I probably would. I'd probably replace these two colors, honestly, with like a really pretty like pink, and then maybe a really pretty like maybe just a really pretty like gray, or like a really pretty something cool toned, in a sense of that I'd get a lot of use out of it. I think that is really my biggest concern, is I don't know how this would be on other skin tones. I do know the miniature version of the palette, which I have to dig through my collection. I don't know how this would be on deeper skin tones, like I said, but if you do have it and you do have a deeper skin tone and you love it, please leave that down below, and I hope you guys stay tuned for my next future videos, and I'll see you around. Bye!